All right, look, it's no surprise that the Honda Civic Type R is a fantastic vehicle. It's quick, it's fun to drive, and overall, one of the best dailies you could get as an enthusiast. But then Acura unveiled the Integra, and the enthusiast, well, they weren't happy. They said, where's the two-door? Where are the sporty Integra renderings that I didn't realize weren't real? And then they got this yellow four-door. Naturally, the enthusiasts weren't happy, but there was a rumor that a Type S was being worked on. When the Type S was finally revealed, the world definitely had a better reception to it. It has a big diffuser, cool exhaust. It is essentially the Civic Type R in a tuxedo. It's more luxurious, a little softer, but it is still pretty quick. So my question is, does this redeem the new Integra in the enthusiast community's eyes, or is it simply just a nicer Civic Type R? Let's go for a drive and find out. Guys, I have a confession to make. I was really hard on the Integra. In fact, I was probably too hard on the new Integra, but I stand by that the disappointment was real at the time. I've seen the new Integra in person. I still wasn't that much of a fan, and also enthusiasts who owned Integras like myself weren't happy with the overall design. But when the Type S was unveiled, I think it was a little bit different of a story. So here we are in the Acura Integra Type S. It's brand spanking new. And I'm actually here with Motortrend for Car of the Year. Huge thanks to Motortrend for kind of showing me their process of how they pick Car of the Year. You have to remember, the cars aren't very much against each other, they're against a criteria. So Motortrend has certain criterias like advancement in design, efficiency, engineering excellence, performance of intended function, and safety. This is a pretty big moment to me because Motortrend was an inspiration for my channel when I first started on YouTube. So it's very cool to have the opportunity to be able to drive amongst other car journalists. Okay, Acura Integra Type S. In a nutshell, it's a more luxurious Civic Type R. Now, it does have a little bit different power figures. The interior is almost completely different. I thought it was gonna be way more similar than it is. It's actually very good looking. The steering wheel is really nice. And it's just great that the Civic Type R is even a thing, to be honest. So it made sense for them to use that as a basis for the Integra. But the Integra is a perfect example of why fan renderings are so dangerous for the public reception of a car. If you have a certain expectation of what the Integra used to be, like me, a two-door coupe, and yes, they made a four-door, but nobody really remembers the four-door as much. People think about the DC2 Integra when they think of the Integra. So that's a little bit of an issue. And honestly, I didn't really like the rear end that much. I didn't like the Genesis style taillights. It kind of looked like a Genesis coupe style taillight. Well, with the Type S, to me, they made it more special. And I loved the diffuser. I love the triple exhaust. I love the front bumper and the front lip and the different ducts they've added and the aero that they've added, the carbon fiber trim on the trunk. They really, really changed the entire look of this car. Now, the Civic Type R is a fantastic driving car. It's no secret. I got to drive it on Sonoma. It was great. But I was worried that the Integra might be too luxurious, if that makes sense. But it's not. It still feels very sporty. This feels a little bit more spacious on the inside, a little bit more comfortable. The Type R feels more race car, right? Here we go. I have a 120 mile an hour speed limit on the proving grounds. This feels wrong. I'm just doing this. All right, there we go. That was it, 120. That was from a 40 roll. All right, I'm currently heading to the winding road section, which will be kind of like driving on track or driving on your favorite mountain road. And that's what I'm really excited about this. Yep, very Type R. There goes my bag. That's a good sign. When my bag's being thrown around the back seat. yeah, if you use the same exact driving techniques from the Civic Type R, you are set in the Integra. It might be the luxurious Type R, but it's still a Type R, for sure. Also, you might notice the 6-speed manual transmission. That is a huge win for this car for me, because after you drive the Type R, you can't imagine it being anything else. Holding here is a really nice feeling. We have some nice stitching right here. We also have our gauges, which have the different modes with a very satisfying sound. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. The color of the seats is actually kind of interesting. I don't think it's for everybody, but I think it looks pretty nice with this color combination. Also, the paint has a really beautiful flake. I will say though, even though I'm in the dynamic mode or the Sport Plus mode, I thought the exhaust would be a little bit louder. I thought it would have a little bit more character, but these motors are not easy to make loud, if that makes sense. But remember, I'm in the luxurious version. I need to really remember that. The Type R is the boy racer with the big wing and everything else, right? The Integra is sporty, but still pretty subtle. Well, to a degree, with a big diffuser on the back, not really. The back seat, pretty spacious. Sat back there earlier while taking a tour of this place. I didn't really have any problems. The materials are really nice. I'm gonna be absolutely clear. Materials are really nice. Air vents and everything else are the same as the other Hondas and stuff like that. This 4-cylinder turbo does its job extremely well. You don't get the crazy VTEC scream that you get out of the naturally aspirated B series and K series. That's a whole nother thing. I just love the craziness of a screaming 4-cylinder, right? But you don't have that here. This is more smooth and serene, but it's still quick. I would have loved to see an all-wheel drive variant of the Type R, and I was kind of hoping the Integra was that. See, that's it. You know what I mean? It does its job. It carries speed really, really well. Yeah, daily driving this, I totally see what Acura was going for. Because I know this is a good car. I knew the Integra Type S was gonna be a good car. That's not the issue. It's just the name, right? It came with a certain expectation, just like the Mark V Supra did. The Mark V Supra was pretty much doomed to fail as when it, okay, they're not failing now, but at the time, as a PR thing, they were doomed to fail right out of the gate. The manual Supra, I love now. I think it drives amazing. All right, Acura Integra Type S. What do I think of it? If you like the Type R, you're gonna like the Type S. I know that's kind of I feel like that's cheating when I say it like that, right? It's kind of like, well, duh. But at the same time, maybe they made it too soft, right? That could have been a possibility. And they didn't. They didn't make the Type S too soft. I think it's great. In each mode, it drives very different. Sport is a really nice equal medium. And Sport Plus, yeah, if you're on any sort of bumpy road, you're gonna feel it for sure. Once again, huge thanks to Motortrend for letting me come out for Car of the Year. And they do a ton of work, guys. They put so much work into this. Seeing this in person has been very eye-opening. It's not like, I like that one the most. There's a lot that goes into it. They've been out here for like 7 days testing these cars to really make sure they get it right. And on that note, I upload on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.